Hello and welcome to another episode of Inside the Ropes with Coach Mario. How's it going, guys? Another beautiful day here in Miami, Florida. Nice breezy day. It looks like a clear day, not too many clouds. Perfect day. It's not even too hot either. It's maybe in the low 80s, maybe high 70s, I would say. Really nice day to be outside. Really almost the end of the week. It's Thursday. A lot of things have transpired in boxing in this last week. But I just want to talk about this subject that's been coming on for the last few weeks, ever since Canelo lost. And that subject is Canelo an invincible fighter? Was Canelo overhyped? Was Canelo indestructible? Are his fans delusional? You know, what is going on with the perception that Canelo cannot be knocked out? You know, I've had various conversations ever since the loss to Bivol with some hardcore Canelo fans. And some of them most of them were really devastated. They're really devastated because of his loss. And some of them are in denial, basically just thinking that it was a bad day at the office for Canelo. He was playing golf too much. I mean, the excuses are like innumerable. So, you know, is that the real reason why Canelo was not able to defeat Bivol? Was it too big? All this other stuff, right? So many excuses and so many reasons why Canelo lost. They won't admit. None of these Canelo fanatics, I call them. I don't even call them fanboys, because to be honest with you, you have to be realistic. And I know there are some fighters you love, and I tell you, I have been following boxing for decades, many decades. And one of the things that I can tell you is that I've never been a fanatic of any boxer. I've been a fan, but when one of my guys loses, one of the fighters that I've followed for many years, and I get excited every time I see him fight, loses, I admit it. Duran lost by knockout against Tommy Hearns. How can you deny that? What did I say? Was that a bad night out for Duran? No. If Duran would have fought Tommy Hearns 10 times, he would have lost against Tommy Hearns 10 times. And remember, styles make fights. So just admit and move on. You know, the reason why he doesn't want to fight Dimitri Bivol again is because of the same old thing. The same reason why a lot of people have criticized Canelo, and now more with his decision of fighting Triple G, an elder Triple G, a 40-year-old Triple G with diminished abilities. Not the same Triple G from 4 or 5 years ago. Not that same Triple G. And the thing that bothers me that some of these fanatics can't see is that Canelo has said innumerable times, not only him, but his trainer, Eddie Reynoso, have said, listen, we don't need Triple G. We don't want to fight Triple G again. There's nothing we can gain from fighting Triple G. All these things about denying Triple G the trilogy. Both fights, I would say one fight was close. That was the second fight. All right. First fight, there was no doubt that Triple G won that fight. And the judges, just like in this case with Bivol, were blind. Were either blind or corrupt or inept, whatever you want to call it. But they always seem to favor Canelo on when there is a close fight, or whenever the opponent is beating Canelo and doesn't knock him out. They always give Canelo the benefit of the doubt. So all these excuses, all these things, and now he wants to fight Triple G after all this time, right? So that's one of the things. So I had a conversation yesterday at the gym, all right? So we had sparring night last night, and one of the dads for one of the kids that come over to the gym, he's a gifted kid, really gifted kid, a lot of talent. And we're talking outside, and he's a hardcore fanatic of Canelo. And he told me, you know, he was honest. He told me, I was devastated when he lost and all that stuff. I said, well, you know what? Bebo didn't seem like he pushed Canelo completely. I'm pretty sure Bebo could have taken up a notch higher and could have put Canelo in trouble and maybe knock him out. And he went off. He goes, oh, Canelo cannot be knocked out. Canelo, there is no way, no, you know, no, he has never been knocked out. And I say, guy, yo, relax, man. You know, anybody can be knocked out. Your Canelo is not indestructible. And that's the problem right there. The media, the powers that be, the WBC, the promoters, and everybody has been, you know, using the Canelo indestructibility type of propaganda, and has been feeding everybody with, he's the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. Could he be the greatest Mexican fighter of all time? Is he better than Chavez? You know, all these things. And it's actually, there's minds that are very susceptible. Just like when the COVID-19 hit, you know, so many people are so susceptible. I see a lot of people wearing masks still. And it's crazy how the mind works, how weak some people are, so susceptible to indoctrination and to propaganda and to the media. I mean, you can't have, nowadays, there's not too many people that are critical thinkers, that think for themselves, that can actually analyze things and can see things with a different perspective. They got to listen to other people and just follow whatever everybody else is doing. So if you're a Canelo fan, you're a Canelo fanatic, you know, there's something wrong with what happened to Canelo. Maybe he had some of those bad tacos over there, and he got tired, and he wasn't able to beat Bebo that night. So, again, anybody can be knocked out. Anybody can be defeated. Nobody is indestructible, guys. Nobody. I tell you, like I was telling you a few minutes ago, my favorite fighter of all time was Roberto Mano de Piedra Duran. He is for me, he is one of the greatest fighters of all time. And not only for me, but for many experts and historians of the sweet science say the same thing. And listen, he got knocked out. He had never been knocked out before. He's been knocked down. He was knocked down twice by Esteban de Jesus when in his prime, in Duran's prime. You know, if that fight would have been for the title, he would have lost the title to Esteban de Jesus from Puerto Rico. You know, it was a catch weight, I know, 140 pounds, but still, he would have lost. I mean, he did lose the first fight. But anyway, you know, Duran for me was my idol. You know, I loved Duran. I followed him. But I was never a fanatic. I was never fanatic. And when he got knocked out, I said, oh, crap. I mean, he bit more than he could chew. And that's what happened in this case. It's not that Bebo was bigger. He was bigger. But remember, Canelo has been fighting bigger guys for a long time. All right? He's always also fighting little guys for a long time. Smaller guys for a long time. Dehydrated guys for a long time. So stop with the excuses, guys. My point is this. Be honest with yourself. Learn about boxing. Don't be a fanatic. Don't be a fanatic. You know, look at fights with a good perspective, with a clear mind. That's what real fans of the sweet science do. You know, if you go to Puerto Rico, for example, I grew up in Puerto Rico. You go to Puerto Rico, I mean, I'm talking about big time hardcore fans over there. Big time. We love our fighters. We love our baseball players. We totally love them. But when a boxer in our mind loses, we admit it. Even if they get the decision. Remember when Carlos Palomino fought Wilfred Benitez? I believe Wilfred Benitez lost that fight. And I think Wilfred won that title match. And it was in San Juan. and he got the benefit of the doubt. He got the nod from the judges. But a lot of Puerto Ricans said, "Oh, he lost." I was among those who thought he lost and said it. So, guys, don't be a fanatic. Admit your man is not indestructible. Canelo is not invincible. And I'll tell you something else. He better not take Triple G for granted. He's 40 years old, but Triple G can still punch. And the last thing that goes on an old fighter is his punching power. Remember George Foreman? All right? How old was he? 40-something years old when he regained the heavyweight title against a guy in his prime, against Michael Moore. So don't be a fanatic, guys. All right? Love the sport. Learn about boxing. But stop with the excuses. Stop with the excuses. It does not look good. It does not look good when you go all out and blind it completely. And I've had a lot of these discussions with people that I know, that are hardcore Canelo fans, and you can't reason with them. It's like, with political parties, the same thing. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, it's the same thing. Hardcore. Whether you're with Biden or with Trump or with somebody else, there's hardcore people that cannot admit. These are human beings, guys. They're not perfect. You can't believe everything they say. The same thing with boxers, all right? They are human beings. They're vulnerable, like all of us, man. They're gonna be able to they're not gonna be able to win every single fight unless you pick and choose and fight, and not unify any title, and retire. Then you could probably sell that, continue selling that propaganda, continue selling that idea that you're the greatest of all time, or you're the best ever. All right. But anyway, guys, that's all I have for now. I just wanted to touch base on that. Don't be a fanatic. Don't be a fanatic. I tell you, though, Canelo better take Triple G seriously. He's a 40-year-old man. But hey, you know what would be something? It would be karma. And this is why one of the things I'm telling you guys, how pissed off Triple G is going to be now. After waiting for Canelo for all these years to give him a rematch. It's not going to be an easy fight, guys. It is not going to be an easy fight. Okay, we'll be talking more about that in the future, but just imagine what would happen to Canelo. What would happen to Canelo if he loses against Triple G? You imagine that? It would be devastating for his career. But anyway, again, those are just speculations on my part. However, as far as being a person that can actually interpret things and have a clear mind and look at things the way they are, that's the way I try to be. That's what I teach my students, my boxing students, my fighters. I tell them, listen, guys, there's nobody perfect, only God. All right, that's the only perfect guy, right? So if you put all your faith in one person, all your hopes in one person, probability says that you're gonna be disappointed at some time. You cannot. All right. This is Coach Mario from Warriors Pride Boxing Academy, owner and head coach, saying goodbye. Follow us on Instagram, like and subscribe. See you guys later, and peace.